Assalamu alaikum, respected Zakir Bhai. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We as Muslims are thankful to you for your wonderful service to Islam, especially for broadcasting Dr. Israr Ahmed's lecture for the Urdu and Hindi audience. His lectures on Quran and global affairs are now largely being viewed these days. What are your views about Dr. Israr Ahmed's Quranic thought and his vision on global affairs? We know that you hosted him in India. What did you find in his personality when you met him? And finally, do you agree with his ideology of politico-social economic system that every Muslim must do struggle to establish the Islamic system of government? Jazakallah khairan. A similar question is asked by another brother by the name of Asif from Pakistan. What are your views about Dr. Israr Ahmed? How did you find him when you met him? This question has been asked to me several times since the time I have launched this program, Ask Dr. Zakir Naik, regarding my views and how did I spend time with Sheikh Ahmad Deedat and Dr. Israr Ahmed. But I know that the answer is going to be long, so I was trying to delay it, because when I give long answers, the number of questions in the program session becomes less. So basically the question asked by our brothers from Pakistan is what are my views regarding Dr. Israr Ahmed, and what do I think about his teachings on the glorious Quran and on the political, social, economic system. As far as many of you may be aware, that the person who inspired me the first and who made me change from a doctor of a body, doctor of a soul, is none other than Sheikh Ahmad Deedat, and may Allah grant him Jannah. The other personality that affected my life to a great extent, besides Sheikh Ahmad Deedat, it is Dr. Israr Ahmed. Sheikh Ahmad Deedat was the first person when I met him in 1987. I was inspired by him, and because of him, I left my profession and became a full-time Dai. The other personality which was instrumental in making me leave my profession and become a full-time Dai was Dr. Israr Ahmed. Regarding the question that I met him and what are my views regarding him, the first time I met Dr. Israr Ahmed was in the year 1991, when I traveled from India to Pakistan. I have only been to Pakistan once, that is before I started giving public lectures. That was in 1991. And my main reason to travel to Pakistan was to meet Dr. Israr Ahmed and to see his organization. After I was inspired by Sheikh Ahmad Deedat, I started watching many other speakers in English and also in Urdu, and my second most favorite speaker that I started watching video cassettes after Sheikh Ahmad Deedat was Dr. Israr Ahmed. And after I watched many of his video cassettes, I had the desire to meet him. So in 1991, I traveled from Bombay to Lahore, and when I met him in 1991, I was impressed by his simplicity. MashaAllah, such a great personality. And I was touched by his simplicity. His organization, that is Quran Academy, when I went to Lahore, it is massive, it is huge, it has got many buildings. And when I went to his office was so simple. And he himself, according to me, he's a stalwart, mashallah. The two speakers that I feel can move the audience, unlike other Islamic speakers, it is Sheikh Ahmad Deedat and Dr. Israr Ahmed. Even today, when I watch the programs of Dr. Israr Ahmed and Sheikh Ahmad Deedat, the moment I started hearing them, it is difficult to stop the videos. And even when we hear a short clip, we are moved by the way they speak. Both of them, alhamdulillah, they are excellent orators. And I feel in English language, one of the best orators that we have in the Islamic field is Sheikh Ahmad Didat, and in the Urdu language, one of the best orators that I know of, it is Dr. Israr Ahmed. Alhamdulillah, they are par excellence. When I met him personally, he asked me that, why have you come to Pakistan? So I told him, number one is to meet you, Dr. Saab, and to see your organization. And he said, what are the other reasons? Then I said that I would also like to visit the other organizations of Pakistan, other Islamic organizations of Pakistan. So Dr. Israr Ahmed replied, in Pakistan, you will find many Islamic organizations, but unfortunately, you will not find Islam. I mean, that was his view. And alhamdulillah, then he asked me that what am I doing? So I told him that I've just finished in 1991, I had just passed my MBBS and I was doing my internship. So I told him I've just passed my MBBS, I'm doing my internship, and I intend doing my post-graduation, most probably in surgery. And I told him that I've been inspired by Sheikh Ahmad Didat, and I would like to be a Dai and a doctor both. And my intention was to be a part-time Dai. So he said that, do you want to do as a Dai part-time or more? I said, no, I would like to do both, maybe equal. I would like to do maybe later on after I finish my master's, I would like to do both equally good in both I would like to be. So Dr. Israr Ahmed replied that beta, that is, beta means son in Urdu. He said, son, I tried to excel in both. Even I'm a medical doctor, and as you may be aware that Dr. Israr Ahmed, the doctor in front of his name is of a medical doctor, not a PhD doctor like me. He told, for 7 years, I did medical practice and I tried to do both. Then I realized that if you want to excel, you have to choose one. You cannot excel in both. So my son, you'll have to decide whether you want to be an excellent doctor or excellent Dai. And that statement of Dr. Israr Ahmed really changed my future. Initially, as you know, that I was going to do my post-graduation, so I requested my parents that I start this organization, Islamic Research Foundation. Now, because it is internship, I'm more free, so I'm giving more time, more than 50% of my time. And once I start doing my post-graduation, when you're doing a master's in the medical field, you have to be a resident doctor and you have to stay at the hospital. Maybe you can come home for a few hours a week. So I thought when I get that half a day free or some hours free every week, I will spend 2 hours for dawah in the organization every week. So my initial plan was, when we launched the Islamic Research Foundation, because it was internship, I was doing more than 50% of my time. I had the time. I requested my parents that I will give, once I start doing my master's, I will give 2 hours every week. After meeting Dr. Israr Ahmed and hearing from his past experience, it is very important that when we hear the stalwarts, the scholars, and those who Allah has given niyama, we have to learn from them. And when I returned back home, then I decided that I have to choose between the two. I chose to become a doctor because I wanted to serve humanity. And after meeting Sheikh Ahmad Didat and Dr. Israr Ahmed, I realized that there is a better profession to serve humanity, and that is the profession of a